Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is Daily Trading Analysis with a quick market update for today, 22nd of August, Tuesday. Today, we got economic data for existing home sales. Month over month, minus 2.2 millions, still in the negative, and year over year, we came compared to July last year, minus 16. So, offering of existing home sales came, I think I read something like the lowest point in like 25 years. So demand is still there, but offering due to higher interest rates is lowest at point at 25 years. So home sector really cooling down, but let's see what happens. Richmond Fed 7 Business Index in the positive. We were expecting negative, but look at this. Quite interesting. Remember that services is the sector in which we have the most inflation, the sticky inflation. And since October 2022, look at all these values. We have been in the negative. Today is the first month in which we are in the positive. And this is not good news. Fed barking speech was telling something about that if consumer spending does not goes lower, does not cool down, and inflation is still at highs, they might continue hiking and tightening monetary policy. That's also bad news. So let's see how the market reacted to that. Because certainly we tried to go higher due to this was yesterday's push into the afternoon, really beautiful. We had this level at 15,000, really key pivot, and during the overnight we were basically consolidating until the London Open at 3 p.m. in which we started going higher. We went higher like into the open 1.11%, and we broke all these resistance that I had here, 15,067 and 50,100 on this day on 16th August. And I was looking for basically this to pan out, to just gap fill, higher low over yesterday's high and break of high of day. That was my plan for the long. And if we go to the 1 minute chart, that was basically what we had down here. So we started going down, actively selling off, and we fill the gap here. We start pushing up. We broke the active trend, lower lows, lower highs. And at this point, I was watching this level to break, 15,050. But as you may know, if you have experienced enough the market, you know that anything can happen. And even though this looks amazing, actually. Let me just do this. This looks amazing, right? But it didn't resolve. I was waiting certainly for something like this, but nothing more, nothing less. If we go to the real time, we got denied. We got denied pretty heavily. In here, look at these candles. This range was chopping around until this candle. In this candle, I saw 7,000 contracts on the ES building on cumulative delta, and the price was not going up. What does that mean? If you know how delta works and know how volume trades on the contracts on the futures, you may know, and if not, let me explain you that if price goes down on positive cumulative delta, those are high time frame sellers building on people really pushing delta up, but price is not going up. So those sellers are accumulating on those people buying the ask. So that's why the cumulative delta builds on positive, but price goes down. And at this point, I don't want to fight against these high time frame, big players, institutional participants. I don't want to do that. And look at this resolution. Push, consolidation, second leg down into low of day. And if you want to continue trading, this is your level. 15,056, between 36 and 50. But let me tell you, I think there are big players playing today, building positions, because if you take the daily into consideration, This was a nice bounce of this mid-side playing consolidation. Yesterday we had a nice day, 1.64, but today looks like a rejection. And we have the 20 moving average up here on the daily. We've been grinding down until today. And there's certainly a possibility for just to do like this and continue lower. So don't think that the first pullback is going to be met by demand. A lot of sellers will demand. I think there are investors buying down here, but I don't know. I just saw something that I don't usually like. Building that huge accumulative delta on price going down means big participants selling the ask. And those are not day traders like you and me. Those are not retails. Those are institutional investors, institutional traders, profit traders, big participants. So I was waiting for my setup. It almost was looking great, but it didn't turn out to be that case and it didn't resolve. So that's why I have my plan. I explained to you my plan. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I was stopped out a couple of times. I'm finishing the day on the positive, but if you are green, just hear me out. Today is quite choppy. The selling pressure is there. There's quite a lot of volatility, and dollar is quite in the green, 0.23. If we check the daily, we are starting to see some kind of big body candle towards 105. Yields were in the negative, in the red, but the 2-year turned green, 0.22. The 10-year is just holding up here, still above 4.3 in the red today, but it's not a good day for stocks to push. We have Tesla, basically all the tech was gapping up, but let me throw you some numbers. Tesla since the open is minus 3.50. Nvidia since the open is minus 5%. Amazon is chopping around, Microsoft is chopping around, Apple is chopping around, Google is the only one pushing, and Meta is also seeing a lot of weakness, minus 1.10%. So that's why we are seeing these moves, a lot of volatility, because we were gapping up big time, but we couldn't hold these levels, and we are making this nasty topping tail on the Nasdaq daily. And this is not good. Look at this rejection. This might just a bounce, relief rally for continuation to the downside. So be really careful with your expectations. Banks are all in the red, as you can see on the right hand side. And energy and utilities are the only sectors in the green. Not super green, but basically we are seeing nothing burger. Nothing today. Just chopping around, a little bit of defensive on the dollar, and that's all. There's nothing. So if you're in the green, take those gains. Hear me out. Take those gains, because tomorrow we are waiting for Nvidia earnings after the close. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Nvidia is going to report earnings after the close. The implicit volatility on Nvidia options is huge. It's above 80. And that means that if you are investing right now on Nvidia earnings through options, you are not doing your best. 80, 70, 80 implied volatility is not your best bet. Those are going to be destroyed once earnings come out. And it's just not a good time. Not a good time. You can have Nvidia is going to affect a lot to the Nasdaq and the S&Ps for sure, and I think there's a lot of expectations and hype around Nvidia beating earnings, beating growth, and if those expectations are not met, which I personally think those will not be met, I think Nvidia is going to miss expectations. Markets are going to get crashed, and let's see. That's my opinion, but for sure, tomorrow you will have better opportunities. I already explained to you why I don't like this kind of price action. We are near low of days and there's nothing stopping The Nasdaq continue lower. The S&P is already gap fill, already 100% retracement. It's just chopping around low of days. And if you were looking for longs as me, it's not a setup. So I'm just calling a day and waiting for tomorrow. And that's all from my side. As always, if you found this video useful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel because I upload videos every single day for market forecast, market updates, and market recaps. I appreciate your time as always. I hope you had a good trading day, and let's continue like that throughout all this week. Being patient is going to pay off for sure. So remember that also discipline, patience, risk management are key skills for your success. Stay safe, everyone, and see you tomorrow.